In 1951, something extraordinary was about to unfold in Melbourne, an event unlike anything the city had ever attempted before. This footage, forgotten for decades, was discovered among a collection of dusty old reels, unlabelled, unseen, and remarkably still intact. What it reveals is not just a parade, but a moment when a city set out to redefine itself. Just a few years after the end of the war, Melbourne was still adjusting to peace. Resources were limited, the economy was tight, and yet there was a growing need to bring people together, to create something inclusive, something uplifting and shared. So the city took on a bold challenge to stage a public celebration on a scale never seen before. This was no small undertaking. Led by the Melbourne City Council, with support from the state government and the Royal Horticultural Society, a committee of civic leaders was assembled to bring the vision to life. Among them, there was the Premier of Victoria, John MacDonald, the Lord Mayor of Melbourne, Councillor Nielsen, the Town Clerk, Mr Wooten, the Superintendent of Parks and Gardens, Mr Owens, and Councillors Brenz and Comedo, figures entrusted with turning an ambitious idea into reality. What they were planning was more than an event. It was a statement that Melbourne was moving forward, out of austerity and into something brighter. But pulling it off would not be easy. There were logistical challenges, limited resources, and the simple question, would the public respond? Would people come? Would it succeed? Or would it fail short of expectations? What followed surprised everyone. Hundreds of thousands would turn out, lining the streets in numbers Melbourne had rarely seen before. And the event itself would be described at the time with a word that today carries a very different meaning. But before the crowds arrived, before the colour and celebration, there was this moment when it all still hung in the balance. Before the parade began, the atmosphere was already taking shape. In Fitzroy Gardens, near the conservatory, people gathered early, not in a rush, but in a mood of quiet anticipation. Families, friends and visitors found their place among the gardens, taking time to relax, to talk and simply enjoy the day. There were refreshments, cups of tea, cakes, small comforts that made the occasion feel welcoming and shared. This was more than just preparation for a parade. It was a social moment, a chance for the public to come together in a setting that felt open, inclusive and distinctly Melbourne. What followed that day exceeded expectations. By evening and into the next morning, the newspapers told the story. Crowds in their hundreds of thousands, a turnout few could have imagined. And the language used to describe it is striking. Again and again, one word appears: gay. Not in the way we understand it today, but as it was meant then: joyful, lively, full of spirit. The report spoke of gaiety, of a city alive with colour, of celebration returning to the streets after years of hardship. It was, in every sense of the word, a truly gay occasion. As the celebrations continued, attention turned into the Treasury Gardens. Here, a special ceremony was about to take place, the official opening of the festivities and the crowning of the Princess of Spring. Dignitaries gathered beside the ornamental pool. The local mayor, members of council, and invited guests all assembled for the occasion. A temporary footbridge stretched across the water, creating a stage unlike any other, set within the gardens themselves. Then the moment arrives. The princess and her attendants make their entrance, moving gracefully towards the platform, watched by a growing crowd. This event celebrated 100 years since the creation of the colony of Victoria in 1851, when it was separated from New South Wales. It was also 50 years since the establishment of the Federation of Australia in 1901, bringing the 6 colonies together to form the states and territories comprising the nation of Australia. Soon after, representing the Governor, Sir Dallas Brooks, Miss Jeanette Brooks, his daughter, enters, accompanied by Councillor Comedo and the Deputy Town Clerk. There is a sense of ceremony, of tradition being shaped in real time. And then, the crowning. A simple, symbolic act, but one that captures the spirit of the day. A city embracing renewal through colour, pageantry and shared experience. Note the enormous crowd in attendance to this event. The newspaper articles of the time put the figure at 300,000 people, which is 3 times the MCG's capacity, and at the time was about 30% of the population of Melbourne. A truly remarkable, successful attendance. And the newly crowned princess rises. She moves among the people, greeted with smiles, admiration and warmth. The princess was selected by a competition conducted by the Horticultural Society, and the title reflective of the time of the year being November, which was spring in Melbourne. This event preceded the first Moomba Festival in 1955, when the role of the princess evolved into the Queen and eventually the Monarch of Melbourne. All around, the crowd stretches into the distance. Tens of thousands, perhaps more, gather together in a moment of collective joy. Faces turn towards celebration, drawn not just by the spectacle, but by something deeper, a sense of belonging. In that moment, Melbourne is no longer a city recovering from war, but a city alive again, colourful, joyful, and as they described it then, gay. We hope you've enjoyed this priceless piece of Australian history. If so, we would very much appreciate you liking, commenting on the video, subscribing to the channel so as to help our ongoing restoration work, and if inclined, please click the Buy Me a Coffee link below.